Today we're starting a new unit called division. Division is the opposite of multiplication. So in multiplication, the number gets bigger. In division, the number gets smaller. So the first lesson is division fact strategies. So we're going to look at different strategies on how to divide a number. So just to give a little example of what the word division means is, it is something that we usually do on our daily basis. We do a lot of division without realizing that we're actually dividing. For example, let's say we're playing a game with our friends. There's a four of us sitting down and playing a game using a deck of cards of 52 cards, and I start giving one to each person. So it would be fair that each person that's playing the game gets the same amount of cards. So if I start to give myself one, the next person one, the next person one, the next person one, until I empty my hand with the deck of cards, I'm going to find out that I've given 13 cards to each person. That's including myself. So 4 people, 13 cards each, and the deck had 52 cards. So it would be 52. I divided it with 4 people. The answer is going to be 13. So 52 cards. I've given those 52 cards to 4 different people, and I found out that each person ended up with 13 cards. Also in this lesson, we'll be looking at rows and columns. Rows is from left to right or from right to left. Columns from up down or down up. In finding an answer for division. So just like what I started by saying, that division is the opposite of multiplication, I'm going to be using some multiplication facts to find an answer, and then showing you how I use multiplication to get an answer for a division. For example, I'm going to say, let's use 24 counters. Let's use 24 counters, and let's put these counters in arrays. We could do it in multiple different ways. So now we're going to use the row and column strategies. So I'm going to start with 3 rows. So I'm going to put my arrays 1, 2, 3. I got my 3 rows, and now I need to fill up the columns until I get 24 counters. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I have 3 rows and 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. Okay. Now if I multiply these numbers, again, so we got 3 times 8, the answer is going to be 24. Now, I could use a different array to get the same answer. So instead of using 3 rows, I'm going to say I want to use 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's fill up the rest of the counters until we use all 24 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we got 4 rows, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. 4 times 6 equals 24. There could be another way of using a different type of array to come up with the same exact answers. In this one, I will say I'm going to be using 2 rows, 1, 2, and using all 24 counters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, let's see how many rows, let's see how many columns we got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12 in the column. We got 2 rows. So 2 times 12 equals 24. Now, why am I doing multiplication? As I said, it's the opposite of division. So let's go back to this one right here. 3 times 8 equals 24. So if it's the opposite, let's work the other way around. So 24 divided 8. So 24 divided by 8 equals 3. As you can see, we just worked our way backwards. So 24, so we got 24 counters. We got 24 counters, and I'm dividing it into 8 groups. This is what it means. 24 counters, dividing it into 8 groups, and that's going to give me 3 sets. Okay, so 24 divided by 8 is going to give me 3 sets. Now let's work on the second one that we have over here. So we got 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So we're working the other way around. Again, we have 24 counters. I'm going to divide it into 6 groups, and each group is going to end up with 4. Same thing over here. 24 divided by 12 is going to be equal to 2. So 24 counters, I'm dividing it into 12 groups. Each group is going to end up with 2. I could do it in a different way as well. So instead of saying 24 divided by 8 equals 3, I could say 24 divided by 3 equals 8. And also for this one over here, again, I could say 24 divided by 4 equals 6. Everything that I'm doing right now are called division facts. That's what our lesson is about, division facts. These are all facts that we're working on. For this one right here, we could do 24 divided by 2 equals 12. Again, we could put them in groups. For example, for this one right here, 24 divided by 4 equals 6, and 24 divided by 6 equals 4. They're both the same. So if I'm going to, let's say I'm going to put 4 in each group. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I put 4, I have 6 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 groups. Each group has 4, and if I count them all, we have 24 in all. For division, let's go back and talk about addition, subtraction, multiplication before we get to division. So when we used to add numbers, we called it a sum. So anytime we would add a number, the answer would be called sum. And now anytime that we subtracted a number, the answer would be called the difference. Every time we divide a number, multiply a number, the answer would be called a product. And now every time we divide a number, the answer would be called a quotient. So now this is something new that we're going to learn. So now if I say find the sum of the numbers, that means you must add. If I say find the difference, that means you must subtract. If I say find the product, that means you must multiply. If I say find the quotient, that means you must divide. I will give another example over here. Now instead of working from multiplication to get to division, I'm just straight gonna get the answer from working with a division question. So I'm going to ask the question of sketch an array to complete each division, to complete a division question. So I want to sketch an array. So sketch, let me write the question. Sketch an array to complete this question. Okay, sketch an array to complete this question. 16 divided by 4 equals what? 16 divided by 4 equal what? Now, 16 is the bigger number. Now we're going to divide it into 4. Let's say I'm going to call this 4 rows. I'm going to call it into 4 rows, and I don't know how many columns I have. 16 is the bigger number. Again, when we're dividing, the number is going to get smaller. So the number over here is going to be smaller than the actual bigger number. So I got 6. So I'm going to look at it as if I have 16 counters, and I'm going to be using 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I have 16 altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 4 rows, and now I found out that I have 4 columns. So the 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So 16 divided by 4 groups. How many do I have in each group? I have 4 in each group. And again, if I'm going to work the other way around, 4 times 4 would be equal to 16. Also, when we're dividing, there are 3 different names for these 3 numbers that we're working with. So we have a name for the 16, a name for the 4, and a name for the answer, which is 4. So the name for 16 over here would be the dividend. And the name for the 4 would be called the divisor. And the name for the answer, as we said over here, would be called the quotient. So over here, we got the dividend. Over here, we got the divisor. And the answer is called the quotient.